And we're back. Hello everyone. Welcome back. Um we're playing Riven. This is a much older game than the Mist version I played. I played the 2021 remake of Mist. This game is from actually, when is it from? Hold on. 1997. This game was made in 1997. And what is crazy is there is actually a remake in the work by the original developers, Cyan Games, or Cyan Worlds, I think, my bad. Cyan Worlds is in the middle of making a 2024 remake to Riven, which I have played before. It has been a long time since I have played it. So just like Mist, I will probably know the solutions to some puzzles, but other puzzles I will be completely stumped on. Particularly, I know the name of it just because I remember how infamous it was. But I think it's called the fire marble puzzle. I don't remember anything about. All I remember is that there's like colors. That's all I remember about it. I remember about the number system. I don't remember how it works. And I remember about the rotating room. Honestly, I think the rotating room is like the only puzzle that I distinctly remember how it works. So everything else was very blurry / I don't remember at all. But this is going to be awesome. And also, this game is very, very old, 1997, so the resolution might be off because it's a 1997 game being played on a 2K monitor being downscaled to 1080p. So it looks fine on every preview. So I think we're good. Just if there's any weird funkiness with the resolution, that's probably what's going. I think this game was remastered to work on modern systems. I don't know if they might have ironed out a bunch of issues that the original version of the game was having on modern systems. So I think we should be good. But without any further ado, we're going to start I don't know why it says start save game. This is the first time the first time I've launched the game was today. I went through the setup process already. I went through options. There wasn't really, this is the options menu. I turned on water effect and our transition I put to normal. Purely because of the fact, so this is point and click. This is a point and click game. And because I know back in the day, the transition speed is based on how fast it takes your computer to go from one slide to the next. And so modern systems, I would be able to like click, and just go through the entire thing. So I put it down. I didn't do fastest. I put it on normal because I wanted to still kind of take my time and go through it, make sure I don't miss anything, as I am very prone to do, as I'm sure y'all are very well aware. But yeah, let's just start a new game. Ooh, that is very loud. That is very, very loud. Everything's peaking.
Thank God you've returned.
Oh my.
I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know. But I'm afraid
Atrus.
I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. keep it well hidden.
Okay.
For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book, back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture Gan. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
Look how messed up that linking panel is. I don't really know what's going on, but I know I'm a pretty amazing dragon, aren't I? I look really sexy. No. No. I no. Hey, give me that book back. Give me that book back. I didn't know my roar was that powerful. Wow. Hello? Whoever just got that guy, can you let me out? Hi. Can I have the book back, please? No, can I have the book back? They took the book. Great. And here we are. And I see there is a resolution problem. So on my screen, you can clearly see what's going on right now. We got the black bars on the three sides. And I don't think there's going to be a way for me to fix that on my screen. So what I'm going to do is I will at least fix it for y'all. Not even centered. Why is it not even centered? Yeah, I will at least fix it for y'all. Or I'll fix it the best I can. I don't want to cut off too much. So there's going to be a couple black bars on the sides, but that's better than the 3 sides, so. There we go. Looks a little bit better, at least. Yeah. So, oh, interesting. That's why there's black bars at the bottom. So you can't see it because I increased the size, but there's actually an inventory at the bottom. Right now, I just have a single book. So, question: Atrus gave us 2 books. He gave us his notes, and he gave us a one-man prison. If you're familiar with the books that Cirrus and Akinar were stuck in, that is the one-man prison. But he made it to where it appears it's a linking book back here to Dunning, because we're supposed to be capturing Gen. Now, who's Gen? At this point in time, we don't really know. So the overall goal is we're trying to save Catherine, who apparently Gen has captured here in Riven. So the question is, what book do we have? This appears to be the notes Atrus gave us. So they took the prison book, which we need to get back. Great. Anyway, let's just go ahead and just read through these notes. 87-610. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. 6 days later. Revisions to Riven completed. There are still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my pre-notation and can find no discrepancy. I have not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that. I'm just not seeing it. If the fault is with my foundational assumptions, however. Perhaps after a short rest, I will see something. 2 more days. Success. It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clear, the blinking panel. And although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. Just a few more weeks of work, and I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I've received no sign from her in all that time. I am afraid that, no, I must assume that she is all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. A day later. I did not create the Age of Riven, unlike my father. I have never presumed to have such power, and yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far, I've managed to read the page before it turns. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe that I have saved a dying world. But the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem now is again, I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the Islanders if he is still the man he once was. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Dunny civilization has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the last 33 years because no one has been able to leave that age. The last linking book out of Riven, having been lost to the star fissure upon my return to Mist. That was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all existing links to other worlds. And since the art of constructing books has long been lost with the fall of Dunny, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime and effectively segregated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. In effect, that is what we achieved, but the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Through the string of the through the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory. The deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time, it all seemed so clear. Gin's destructive path could not be allowed to continue. But it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough. To dwell on the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I've acquired in the years since that time has yet to be applied to this problem. A day later. I think I have the solution. Why it did not occur to me sooner, I do not know, unless the idea of it has been pushed out with the thought of my sons. A prison book. Many years ago, during a hunting expedition through the ruins of Dunny, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to by the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula, and with little experimentation quickly succeeded in creating one of these devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering key lines of text, but slightly, a normal linking book's connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person will become trapped. And the first person displaced back into the first person displaced back into the world. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be unable to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appeared to be a link back here to Dunny? The next month, trouble. My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are the result of the changes I have made. This did not, at first, concern me. However, tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. A day later. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are fairly visible, but there is no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do. 2 days later. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that my father's economy of words has yielded. But it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. A couple more days later. I think I've come up with a way to solve the tremors. It will require my exclusive attention for at least a month or two, so it may be necessary to discontinue these journal entries for a while. Several days later, something truly miraculous has happened. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost Mist linking book and has freed me from this prison. hey, that's me in the last game in Mist. I immediately I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe that my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs on Riven and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine has given me renewed hope. A few days later, the last few days have left me with little time to work out the remaining problems with sending someone else to Riven. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gin had been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven, and risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gin. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes the use of visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting variations in the noise patterns, I am still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem that is my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level, and it seems unlikely that an individual could affect such a elementary change from within an age. The idea may be foolish. Still, there is a known weakness that may be worth investigating, an anomaly that appears as a rift between the two separate systems, the star fissure. But how, or even if this fact could be exploited, I cannot say. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I receive this signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should be then a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible, but I am afraid there can be only one answer to the question of whether or not I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. And that's all the exposition we get. Ooh, okay. So let's break that down. So, we went to Mist. We solved the mystery of the red book and the blue book and figuring out that Atrus' sons were in the library. We were then introduced to Atrus, who, in the meantime of us doing that, was in the middle of trying to keep this world alive, more or less. Keep Riven alive. So he could then rescue his wife, Catherine, and his father, Gin, stop him from getting free, more or less, because it seems like Gin has a habit of breaking worlds he goes to and even writing his own worlds, which is a forbidden art or an art not possible, but somehow he's doing it, which is causing these ages like Riven, the fifth age, to not be stable and in turn just basically erupt in on themselves and destroying the cultures within those worlds. And so, we have no way back. We are currently stuck on Riven because the book that Atrus gave to us was a prison book, very similar to the book that Cirrus and Akinar were stuck in. However, it was disguised as a linking book back to Dunny, which would then trap Gin in the link between the two ages. However, that book was stolen from us. So, we have several things that we need to do. We need to figure out where Gin is and how we need to figure out where Catherine is. We need to figure out how to get that prison book back. We need to figure out where the star fissure is. We need to figure out how to then use the star fissure to signal to Atrus that we are ready to return once all of our other objectives have been completed. And to start all that, we need to figure out where that prison book actually is. And yeah. So this is like Mist on steroids. We just get dropped into a world and we're like, holy shit, there's so much I need to do. Where do I even start? It's a long way down. Okay, it's 180. So it looks like the little like finger is like pointing it like curved around like that. We turn 180. And then if it's just pointing, that means we turn 90. Okay, so let's look at this thing. What is this thing? Oh, we got a button right there. And a lever that appeared to do absolutely nothing. Now, if I change that lever down, does that change? No. If I press the button while the lever's down, does that change? No. If I press the button while the lever's up, does it change? No. So obviously this thing is not powered. Oh no. Okay, so there's like some kind of combo lock right there. Yeah, this seems like something we're gonna have to come back to. I love these daggers. These are scattered all over Riven. Really, really cool looking. Looks like that person, whoever that was that stole our book, hammered another dagger into this lever, which does not work anymore. So what's interesting is like as we learned, linking books have the set spots they teleport you to, and it looks like they caged up, so whenever someone links into it, they just get caged immediately. And obviously this guard was not expecting to see anyone link here. Oh wow, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, hi. Oh yeah, you're dead. You're dead. You got thrown off the cliff. All these like cables. Like power being transported between the different islands. Okay, we got a bridge going across to a different island, it looks like. Got a pathway going down. Got an almost temple looking thing. And okay, so we got a 4-way. Let's keep going along the coast and see what we can see. Almost looks tropical out there. Got a locked door. I think that's all we have here is that locked door. Okay. Let's go to this temple place. Oh, there's a button right here. May I present the original cyan rotating room? We had quite a few of these when we played through Abduction. None of them were quite as complex as the original. This is actually a fairly complex little thing. So can I skip? I can press escape to skip. Okay. Okay. So here's an entrance. We look in. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And so we can see that this is a pentagon room. There's 5 sides to this room. We've rotated it 3 times. And we know that there was a door when we first got when we were first standing there. So this door right here is the original door we were standing in. We rotated it once. We rotated it twice. There's a wall in between these 2 columns. And then we rotated a 3rd time where we're standing right now. You see, this is like some writing that we can't really make out because it's in a different language, and I don't know how to translate this language. It's not Draconic either, so sorry there. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to resume. Okay. So we do have, okay, that's the door we came into. We do have like these beetles on the wall. Okay, we got art of someone of holy status is like writing life. Plants, fish, insects, crops, animals, stars, moon, the night, people, the sun. He's writing life from books, and he has like a lot of different instruments, and he's writing life, almost like the Dunny, who were able to write life from books. So this might be Gen. And it looks like Gen was idolized. Okay, so here's the entrance. We looked at this beetle. What is this beetle? We also got a book. We got people bowing to the book. So like writing is like holy, is like a holy thing. Just look, this is the same symbol that's on the ground of the star room, the rotating room. So that's obviously like some kind of religious symbol. Looks like there's cut trees with like, oh look, this is like a chipper. There's like logs up here that are going into this chipper. Oh, excuse me. And they're being cut up and spat out. So it looks like, and being turned into books. I'm not sure what this is. Like fire down here. So it looks like the making of books is like very, very religious based. Very, yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the same beetle we've already looked at. This is the one that was showing Gen writing, or what we think to be Gen writing a book. Again. Again. Hey, it's a Gen. It's a wild Gen. Oh my gosh. We have what appears to be Gen being held in really high religious esteem by the population, it seems like. I think it rotated. Yeah, so we rotate once, rotate twice. This is the one we just looked at. This is the next one. Again, Gin is like held in high religious esteem, and he's like he's casting someone away. Almost looks like some kind of like control over the flames and control over the sun parting the waves. But someone's being thrown into like, you don't cross Gin, otherwise you get punished. Okay. And then okay, this should be the same too. Rotate one more. Here's the door. This is the one we just looked at, so this should be the next one. Here's Gin. There's like 5, I'm gonna call them disciples that are under Gin. So like this is the disciple of bookmaking, because like there's a tree, and we saw earlier that like the trees are held in religious esteem because they get turned into books. So like we have a disciple over bookmaking. On this side, it looks like we have like a disciple of like construction, because like they're like building with like wood planks, and this guy looks like he has like some kind of blueprint in his hands, which I'm assuming that's the disciple. Then these look like young kids. So it's like this is like the disciple of learning and teaching. Because like he's handing out like, I'm assuming like scripture or some kind of religious text to the kid so they learn religious from a young age. Then here we have Tetris shapes. He's holding like some kind of writing. I'm not entirely sure on this one. And then the center one looks like maybe the disciple of like a labor force or an army, potentially. Probably an army, considering they're holding daggers. Okay, so as we're going through this, I do want to say, I remember I said before, I have played this before. I know the very lightest of lore from Riven. When I played it before, I did not play for the lore, I played it for the puzzles. And this time I'm playing for the lore 100%. Because obviously that's what actually matters a lot to me nowadays, is actually playing for the lore, learning the theme, learning the story. What can we take away from the experience? So I'm still trying to piece together exactly what I'm actually not familiar with what's going on with these. Like, so. Okay. And then I think if I counted these right, this should be the one where we see the book being made. Yes, this is the one with the book being made. Okay. So those are the 5 different like beetles, and they all have like different like religious imagery in them. All of them idolizing Gin. So it seems like Gin is definitely an idolized figure here in Riven. And the number 5 is very significant, as we can tell from 5-starred room. There's 5 disciples. The stars having the 5 points. The Riven being literally named the 5th age. So 5 is very, very significant. Okay, this door appears to have a grate over it. I don't see any levers or buttons. Hi, and yes, this is Riven. Oh wow. Yeah, so we've come into the rotating room and we're trying to figure out. So there's only 2 entrances we can get from here. So that's the second entrance. We already rotated it 3 times. So let's rotate it 2 more times and we should be back at the original entrance. Okay, so I'm assuming you were you were gone for most of my initial explanation in the entire beginning of the game. So I'm going to kind of give you kind of a quick rundown of what's actually going on. So Atrus, who we befriended at the end of the first game, missed, sent us to Riven to save his wife, Catherine. And he, at the same time, he wants us to imprison his father, who is not a good man. His name is Gin, in a prison book. When we linked to Riven, the prison book got stolen by an unknown figure. And we have no way off Riven until we signal Atrus after we've completed all of our objectives. So we have to figure out where the prison book is. We have to figure out where Gin is, and then trap him in the prison book. We then have to find Catherine and save her. And then we have to figure out how and where to signal Atrus that we are done with all of our tasks. So that's like kind of the overarching what we need to do on Riven. And we just found this room over here where, oh yeah, there's a lot to do, and it just throws you into it, and you're like, what? Well, I don't understand anything. And we found this 5-sided room that rotates. And on inside of it, there's a lot of religious imagery relating to Gin and how Gin is idolized from the culture here on a world he created, the Riven, the 5th age. 5 is very, very idolized. There's 5 sides to the room. There's the star that's 5. The Riven is literally named the 5th age. There's 5 disciples under Gin that we found out from one of these beetles. I don't know if you saw, but these beetles have like religious imagery in them, and like this one's of Gin casting someone down because I'm assuming they defied him or whatever. So yeah, we're learning a lot that Gin is not someone to be liked. So this was the original configuration of the room, and this also looks like it is a gate that we cannot go through. There's no, I don't see any levers or buttons or anything. So I don't know if we're able to actually do anything with the rotating room yet, because both of the rotations that we can enter the room has grates that we are unable to open at this moment. So we're probably going to have to come back to there. Now there is this door down here that is locked. And this is like the one thing that I remember from my time playing Riven many, 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 many years ago. This dagger is supposed to be a hint that you can click and go underneath this door. There's not a way to unlock this door. You have to know you can actually click to go underneath the door. And I think that's absolutely hilarious. Okay. And so here we have another entrance to the rotating room. We can actually look through a little peephole and we can see this goes right back into the rotating room. I don't see a button where we can rotate it, though, is the issue. See, I enjoy puzzle games and I love puzzles, and such as the entire Myst franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I've only played Myst, Riven. I've played a little bit of Myst 3. But there's actually 5 games in the Myst. No, sorry, 6 games in the Myst series. There's Myst, Riven, Myst 3 Exile, Myst 4 Revelations, Myst 5 End of Ages. There's also a game called Uru that is also in the Myst franchise. So, and I'm planning on eventually going through all of the games. Try to see which beetle the hole is facing. Maybe that would have the clue. So like go up here. We don't know where the hole would be. It could be in this wall or it could be in this wall. Because we saw this door through the hole. So that would probably mean it would be this wall, which would mean we need to rotate our perspective twice. This beetle would be facing that hole, which is this is the one that really all I could gather from it was that Gin is like idolized by the population, the culture here. I just realized he has like a book over his head. For your reference, Charizard, I've already explained this a little bit earlier, but for your reference, since you're just now joining us, the Dunny is a civilization that Atrus and Gin and Catherine are a part of. And the Dunny have the ability to write linking books to travel to different ages. And it's notable that they are not able to create the ages. They are merely writing to link to already existing ages. And it is either a forbidden art or a impossible art to actually create your own ages. Yet Gin is actually creating his own ages. Riven is an age created by Gin, and thus it is unstable and is on the verge of collapse. And so that's why Atrus himself cannot come here, because he is busy constantly writing to keep the age of Riven stabilized, so we have a chance to actually do our tasks, save Catherine and capture Gin, and then signal Atrus so Atrus can come with a linking book so we can actually all escape. Yes, Atrus is also a Dunny, although he's not the one being idolized here. Atrus is the son of Gin. And from the notes that we were reading earlier, Gin was very controlling of Atrus, from what I understand. So, the other beetles, they kind of just sold different scenes. Like this is the one of Gin casting someone down. Then we have the 5 disciples in each of their respective fields. The disciple of bookmaking, the disciple of Tetris. Apparently, I don't know what this. I couldn't understand this one. This one confused me. He's like has Tetris blocks, and then he has some kind of instrument and like a scroll. Maybe writing. It could be the. I'm not sure what the Tetris would have to do with that then, though. But then we have the disciple of the army, I'm assuming because of the daggers held by them. The disciple of learning because he's teaching younger children. The disciple of building because it looks like he's like building with different stuff. And then we have this beetle showing the construction of books and people worshiping the construction of books. And this is how I linked that first disciple to the disciple of bookmaking, because he had like tree, whereas this, like you can see, like these trees are cut down, being put into this wood chopper, spewing out the wood chips into the creation of the book, that then the Holy Gin will then write in to create ages. And then this beetle, as I'm assuming this one, yeah, this is the one of Gin actually writing on the book, making life, making the sun, making the moon and stars, animals, plants, fish, insects, crops, all from just writing in the book. I keep trying to use WASD to move around, but there's no WASD. It's all mouse clicking. So let's actually try rotating this here and then going back to, or if we rotate this twice, if we rotate this room twice, then the door should be at the place that we were at the other place where we went under that door. It should have an opening there. There won't be an opening here. There should be an opening there. Okay. Yeah, let's go back down here. Go underneath. Oh, nope. Don't actually click on the door. Click underneath the door. And yeah, okay. The door is open here now. Some kind of cage. And again, more offerings to some kind of creature. So these must be like the creatures of Gin or then something. Because like are Gin's guardians or Gin's religious animals or that almost looks like an origami representation of like that fish. Because like obviously this is some kind of village and more than likely this is the village that is religiously subservient to him. Like a pathway up here. I bet you that leads to that spinning dome that I saw. Okay, I can actually open this hatch. Okay, we got an ice cream cone and we got the sound of steam. Putting that bridge up, did that lower this bridge? And we're on the another steam thing. What is this? This is the original number signing puzzle in the game where you have to solve and actually learn the numbering system for the culture that's on Riven. Okay, where are we? We're not done. Whoa, 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 whoa.